No, it's a good result for us. We came in with a little bit of form last week. We weren't probably quite as good, but we're really happy last week to be able to fight our way to a win. And today certainly we look like we're playing with a bit of confidence, which was great.
Do you reckon that's the best win the club's had since you've been here?
Oh, the scoreboard, Rob, would certainly suggest that. I suppose, yeah, from that point of view, it was come against a Dragon side who's desperate, and but it was probably built on our. I thought we started really well defensively again, which has been great, and our bigger blokes carried the ball well, and and Junior and Kale and those blokes seem to be finding some combinations and growing a bit.
Barry, I think you'll finish the round in the top 6. Not that later positions matter all that much now, but considering the way things were 4 weeks ago and everything was said 4 weeks ago, it's a pretty remarkable month for Sophie, isn't it?
Yeah, and it probably just sums up the competition. I thought after 4 or 5 weeks, I didn't think there was a great deal of difference between teams 5 to 14 or 15. I didn't think there was a lot in it. I thought it was a matter of someone getting some confidence and some of the sides down the bottom winning a few in a row. And fortunately for us, we've found a bit of form, a bit of confidence, and a bit of consistency. Being able to put, for a few weeks in a row, put the same players in the field as well. That helps as well, where some other sides haven't been that fortunate. So those things certainly all help. But we got the top 3 sides coming up. I think we got Roosters this week, then we've got to buy them. We go Melbourne and South. So these next 3 weeks will really see how far we've come. We've got the 3 probably the 3 top sides in the competition.
Do you think this last month or so, as well as Mitchell's played over a month or so for you guys?
Oh, look, he was sensational last year too, Pearce. Last year was a new challenge for Pearce. He come to us last year, and obviously we had some areas of our roster where we were a long way behind, where he was used to playing at the Roosters, and his form was outstanding. He missed half the season. I think he missed the Dal by 5 points or something. So his form was great last year. Started a little slow this year, but his past month he's probably played as good as anyone in the competition.
Conversation's going to be there about him in Origin football after today.
Oh, look, Freddie's got some big decisions to make there, and he's got some, there's plenty of good halves playing well in there, Katie, and both the South Sydney boys, Junior's playing well, obviously Luke Keary's playing well, and the increments from last year did a great job from last year, aren't quite going so as well as what they were last year. But whatever decision Freddie makes, I'm sure he'll make it with all the right reasons, and they're big decisions, and every as coaches, I suppose, we live and die by them. But I'm sure he knows Pearce would do a good job if he decided he was the right player to go for him. But as I said, there's a lot of blokes playing really well, and blokes did do a good job from last year, and once how they go, I'm sure they'll do the right thing.
You've seen him this next chapter of his career, so to speak, up here in Newcastle. I mean, mentally, is he, and I guess psychologically, after what's happened for him at Origin level, do you believe he's got the resilience to go in there and do a job for New South Wales?
I don't think there's any doubt about his resilience. A lot of these things are styles of play too. Like if you want someone to stand on the side of the field, if that's the style or coach how you want to play, Mitchell Pearce is not your right player, because you're not going to get anywhere near the best out of him. He needs to be on the ball and needs to be doing plays and plays and plays. That's how he plays his game. So how are you going to play? How do you want your halfback to play? All those things come into play. But coming to the Knights for Pearce, it was a new chapter, and it was very different. As I said, he was at the Roosters, where he's generally playing with a roster that's got many internationals and many Origin players. That's the reality of it. And coming to us to play with younger players, and where we had some areas of our roster we needed to improve, and we feel we've certainly made some good improvements this year, which obviously helps Pearce's game a little bit. I think for having the challenges he's come up against coming to us, I think he'd be a better player in those arenas, because he's had to learn how to play on the back foot a little bit more, not always on the front foot.
It's his combo with Callan. I think it's one of the more dangerous ones in the comp at the moment.
Oh, look, there's a lot of good ones out there, isn't there? Obviously Keary and Tedesco and Cooper and them blokes do pretty well, and Katie and Adam Reynolds. There's lots of Damien Cook. There's plenty of good combos out there. We've just had a month of footy where we've put 4 good wins together, which is, so it probably makes us stand out a little bit. But they're both good players, and they seem to be getting better. They've only probably played about a dozen games together now, so you would imagine that if they can stay together and stay on the field over years of footy, they should have one of the better combinations going over time.
So there's something that happened, mate. You said obviously Pearce started a bit slow. Was there something that happened, you think, did you have a chat? Is there anything that's happened?
Look, no. I just think, we certainly looked at our line runners, the way how they were. Ball players are only as good as their line runners, so we certainly looked at a part of that, which probably helped a little bit. I think Pearce, probably cut back from worrying about Caelan and the younger players and worrying about his own game. That probably helped a fair bit as well. Yeah, that's probably the two key points I'd have a shot at.
Nathan, the team's obviously gradually improved over the last month. Do you think it can keep improving?
I would certainly like to think that there's things that we're working at with our defence and offence that we can get better at. I mean, we come from a pretty poor defensive base, so that's something we've had a big focus on in the year. And we're, from myself to Woofy to, Rory, we're driving that hard, and it's an area that obviously as a whole club we want to do really well at, not only in the first team but with our younger players. Our 16s had a great win the other week, and for a 16 side they defended their line in the second half for about 15 or 20 minutes of the second half, which helped them get a victory. And that's something that as a club we decided to go down that path because we were a long way off the other sides, and everyone's goal at the end of the day is to try and get to winning a premiership. And Melbourne and Roosters have been by far the two standout teams of the past 20 years, and defensively they've been by far the standouts as well for consistency, and so that's got to be a goal for us.
Great, the next 3 or 4 weeks, you say, is such a big 3 or 4 weeks. The style of football you play at the moment, the way you play at the moment, is that good enough to beat those top 3 teams?
Oh, look, it's we're going to get challenged heavily defensively, aren't we? Next week we got the Roosters rosters. It's probably the strongest 23, 24 man squad in the competition. Clearly, I think we'd all agree on that. Their key players are playing really good footy, and their big men are, Jared and those blokes are playing as good as they've ever played. So, we're going to get a real defensive, physical challenge next week, and we need to meet that bit first. And if we can meet that bit, well, then we'll get a chance for our attack to maybe do something. But it's going to be a really good challenge for us, and I think coming in off today's win, we should go out there and feel like with some sort of confidence that we can do okay. It's going to be a good, tough game. We'll be huge underdogs, but it'll be good fun. We play at home. I'd imagine we get a huge crowd, and it'll be good.
Nathan, you're in the top 8 now. How confident are you to stay there?
Oh, geez, you might need to ask me down the track there, Rob. Look, what I am confident is if we can keep our roster reasonably fit and healthy, I'm confident that, when we played our games this year that we did win, I didn't think we played anyone that we're worried about playing. But I also know that if we played those sides and we weren't playing some reasonable footy, that we wouldn't do well neither. So, if we can maintain our consistency, the boys have been training really, really well, and we can keep our roster reasonably healthy, we should feel confident that we can win our share of games. We got a big month. I think we go Roosters and the bye, so we'll get that one. Thankfully, that's good. And then we've got the other 2 guys that are at the top, South and Storm. So that's going to be a really big month of footy for us. A really good gauge of where we're actually at. And so in a month's time, we'll probably know where we sit compared to those sides. Anyhow, what sort of work we've got to do, but we should feel confident. That if we're fit and doing things right, we're preparing well, and that we can give ourselves a shot against whoever comes up.